Alright, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to talk about the EZA for the Trunks that is going to be coming up here on the 9th, so very soon, early next week. So, Dokkan can't fumble this. This is one of those EZAs that needs to be good. They need to make this one good. Trunks, this Trunks in particular, is a character of very unfortunate circumstances. Now, what I mean by that is that this guy dropped right before the 7th anniversary, right? So on JP, it was late 2021. They had the 7th anniversary, and what was introduced in the 7th anniversary? Well, for starters, these guys. You know, these guys were absolute powerhouses. They ran the game for a long time, especially this Gogeta here. And then, you know what else dropped along with this? Red zones. Red zones at the time when they first came out were absolutely devastating. So difficult, especially this one. The Broly stage was considered to be the hardest stage in the game for quite a long time, right? This was the one that you tested your mettle against. So unfortunate for our boy Trunks is that he dropped literally right before all of this actually happened. And he was okay. Like, he was an okay character. You know, he had a bunch of additionals built in. At the time, this kind of passive doesn't look very impressive now, but at the time, it was actually very good. And to see him come out and then unfortunately get, like, instantaneously power crapped really hurt, I think, some of the people in the Dokkan community, because we had high hopes for this guy, right? He's very good, and he's very cool, and he's Trunks. We like Trunks. But, dude, I mean, they can't afford to fumble him at all, right? I mean, not only just this, right? Because he's got this form, he's got a Super Saiyan form, which once you get into this form too, is incredibly good, right? With 70% chance to crit, he could guaranteed crit for one turn, you know, getting 12 key. He had all this extra attack stats. He could stun. Dude, he was actually a pretty decent unit. And then they just kind of swept him away. Like, it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for this guy. But we need him to be good. Now, there are a few reasons for this, right? One, in general, he's a new EZA. He's coming out again at the end of the year. The anniversary is going to start in just over a month. So the odds of him getting power crapped again are very high, and they're there. So you need something here to make him very viable for a very long time. Now, I haven't really, like, I don't build out the, you know, passives and stuff like that for potential EZAs, and I don't do the whole brainstorming with that stuff, but like, I can look at this and I can, like, give you a little bit here, like raises attack stats, give him guard, change one of these to a great chance to super, you know, because basically his whole kit was built around launching a bunch of additional attacks. They didn't need to be supers, they were just regular attacks. So, you know, you did your regular 12 key super, you got this additional attack in there, which at the time was still pretty good. Then you had a 70% chance to do another just regular attack, no chance to be a super. And if you were able to get all three of those, right, if this did proc, then this right here would also proc, which gave you the chance, like the great chance to get a super attack there as well. And then you had your hidden potential. So you had the ability to launch up to 5 attacks, 3 of which being supers. Dude, and each one he's raising his defense for the turn. So it made him very strong, and he threw out a lot of attacks. He was doing a lot of damage. He was making himself very defensive for the turn. And then after being able to do 6 or more attacks, this let him transform, which stuns an enemy and seals them for 1 turn. Like that's so powerful. And then you had this shit where they really did away with a lot of the, like, abilities to stun, to seal, to attack and defense debuff, right? That's when we really started to see a lot more of the, like, stronger enemies with the gimmicks, with, you know, the conditions that you could not debuff them. And this guy was kind of centered around needing that while throwing out a bunch of attacks. Now, in his Super Saiyan form, again, he got much stronger. He was critting a lot more. He wasn't really throwing around a bunch of additional attacks, but he didn't really need to because he could do the damage. He could do the crits. You know, you've got your enemy in one of these statuses, which once you transform, like they were already in this. So then you already got more attack. He needed Android Cell Saga around, and this gave him a high chance to stun, which then again would proc this. So, I mean, he's very built around being very strong and being crit heavy and debuffing and doing all that stuff, because then he just, dude, to watch him immediately drop and then to immediately just get totally destroyed is just, it's so unfortunate. Now, there are a few things, right? The biggest one here being the fact that the Pure Saiyan Red Zone, now you need 6 Hybrid Saiyans. While this is possible without Trunks, right? I do have a video up of completing it. There are a lot of people that maybe don't have the ultimate the Super Saiyan Gohan, right? The Gohan that tags into Goten and Trunks. A lot of people probably still don't have this unit. He's very, very new. So the options here are pretty limited for a strong Hybrid Saiyans team to withstand that red zone specifically, right? You've got the Gohan here who is good defensively. You could use the manga Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I've seen people do this, right? He does get very, very strong as you get through the fight, the more supers he's launching. This guy can be very good. They're great, but you can't dodge in that event. So bringing along dodging characters, these guys, Pan, other characters that rely on these boys here, right? Goten, the Super Saiyan Goten and Trunks, you can't really use them. And a lot of these other guys just get obliterated by Broly because the longer you fight, the more you hit him, the stronger he gets. So having a strong Hybrid Saiyan for this specific event, for this specific mission, is crucial. Now, I do think that we are going to get some sort of Hybrid Saiyan for Part 2, right? I did make another video about this as well, kind of speculating what I thought Part 2 could be, and I do think it could be somewhat Trunks related. And because he's getting his EZA, because of this mission, because of the Bond of Master and Disciple category being available within the Redstone shop, I do think that we could see some form of Trunks, whether it be Trunks, whether it be with a Gohan, whether he be with a Vegeta, or just stand alone. I think he's going to be there in some fashion, which is why it is another big point that this guy needs to be very, very good with his EZA, because then they can be perfect partners for each other, right? If you get a Super Trunks or a Super Saiyan Trunks or something, you can link that with this character, right? Trunks team. He can easily link with a Super Saiyan Trunks, with a Super Trunks, with a Future Trunks. You can do that. So he needs to be very good because he needs to be able to support the new Part 2 character that drops here on the 16th, right? We had the EZA already for the androids. Phenomenal EZA with what they did with them. They were already a good character, right? They were still viable in content today because of their Ghost Usher. But dude, Trunks is just not. And these guys made 16's team so much better. That's what this guy needs. That's what these Dokkan Fest EZAs need to be, right? Because these characters have had their time. Some shorter than others. Looking at you, Trunks. Some have a shorter lifespan than others. But the reason for them getting these EZAs is to revitalize them, to have them come back into the fold and be excellent supports for the new big bad shiny characters, right? So when the Carnival LR drops on the 16th, if it's a Hybrid Saiyan, if it is a Trunks, if it's it could be a Gohan, like if it's a Hybrid Saiyan in general, this guy needs to be there in order to really help that character. And that's why I think it's very crucial that Dokkan can't fumble this. You can't. Absolutely cannot. You cannot do this guy dirty twice. Just looking at his kit, I'm gonna do a quick run. Like I said, you raise some of his stats up, maybe give him guard, a little bit of damage reduction because, right, the events do hit very, very hard. Now you're gonna need a very strong defensive unit. You're gonna need someone who guards, someone who has damage reduction, someone who raises defense. You're gonna need that stuff. So give some stats, give some damage reduction, give him guard, make one of these. This is totally fine. but you can make one of these a chance to do a super, right? To kind of throw that out there. When attacking, I mean, obviously give him more attack and defense, give him some support Android Cell Saga, support Hybrid Saiyan, support Bond and Master Disciple. And then this is like fine. So when he does 3 or more attacks, I would just change this to guaranteed super, right? Make it outright, give him another super attack, and then you've got, again, your hidden potential to do another super. Jumping into his Super Saiyan form, again, raise the stats. You can keep him a crit, man. Make him either guaranteed crit or, you know, something where for X amount of turns, he's got guaranteed crit. Instead of just 1 turn guaranteed and then 70% chance. The rest of the time, just make it guaranteed either the entire time or for X amount of turns, right? 4 turns, 5 turns, whatever. Just boost his stats up. I think if you keep his guard, give him some more damage reduction, maybe give him some dodge. Either give him dodge or give his first form dodge. Either way, I mean, you can build out his hidden potential to give him much dodge if you need to, if that's not built into his passive. And then this, I mean, give a lot more of this. Give him chances to actually like put them in like these debuff forms. You know, this stuff's not going to be very helpful down the road, you know, for him, because a lot of these events you can't do these debuffs to enemies. However, in the ones you can, this is going to be very useful and definitely make him a lot better of a unit, more of a viable, shiny, like attractive kind of unit. And then, I mean, I guess you don't really have to. It already greatly raises. He could stack. I mean, stack attack and then maybe, or stack defense or something like that. I think that may be a little too much to ask of him, but I mean, they very well could. Now, I'm gonna end it here. I'm not gonna try to ramble on. I want to make this very quick, just to hit the point that like they can't fumble this dude. You can't. Not with the hard mission that we have. Not with how he was treated the first time. Not with a part 2 coming out that very well could use this guy as a phenomenal running partner, or at least a good support for the team. He needs to be there, and he needs to last longer than a month. Seriously, Dokkan, don't do this to my boy again. Don't make him EZA to then only be around for a month of usage. That would really suck. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for the video today, guys. If you guys did stick around to the end, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think of the upcoming EZA for the Trunks teen who transforms into Super Saiyan Trunks. What do you guys want to see from him? And do you agree with me that like they absolutely cannot fumble this character, like at all? And if you agree, give me some of your key points as well. Give me some stuff that you guys are thinking about, some thoughts, and we can chat about that as well. But until then, this guy's EZA does drop on the 9th, so very early next week. So on Tuesday, he will be available, or some of you Monday night, you know, depending on where you live. Eastern, it will be midnight on the 9th. So Tuesday, he'll be available. We'll make sure we get him EZA'd. We'll do all that stuff. His details should actually be coming out. I mean, the androids didn't come out till the day before their EZA. So on the 1st, that they get. So latest we'd see the EZA details for Trunks would be the 8th. I think earliest would be the 7th. So in a couple days, we'll be able to know what this guy's doing. We'll be able to know what his EZA is. And again, Dokkan, don't do it. Don't fumble this guy. Please. I beg you. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.